Tonight, breaking news as we come on the air, the Jeffrey Epstein bill. President Trump has now signed it. It comes following the near unanimous vote in Congress. Tonight, Republican senators say all of this shouldn't take long. But tonight, our Pierre Thomas asking the U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi if all of the files will be made public and how she answered. Also tonight, the Justice Department's case against James Comey, what President Trump's hand-picked U.S. Attorney, Lindsey Halligan, who has never tried a criminal case, admitted to the judge today. Is this case now in jeopardy? Tonight, the federal terrorism charges, the horrific attack on a commuter train, the suspect seen on surveillance allegedly setting a woman on fire in Chicago. We do have news on her condition tonight. This evening, that teenager found dead on a cruise ship. A source now says her body was found under a bed, wrapped in a blanket and under a life vest. Is one of her step-siblings under scrutiny? Tonight, the U.S. military buildup off Venezuela. Newly released images of U.S. Marines conducting training missions, including live fire exercises. Our team off Venezuela tonight. What is the president now planning? The war in Ukraine tonight. Russia launching a brutal new attack on Ukraine, one of the deadliest this year. Ian Pannell standing by amid this new U.S. peace proposal offered to Ukraine. Does it heavily favor Russia? Back in the U.S. tonight, the brazen robbery. Police say the suspect armed with an AR-15 style rifle in the middle of a busy casino. The interstellar comet getting closer to Earth. Only the third time this has ever happened. The Miss Universe pageant contestant who fell on stage rushed off on a stretcher. We have news on how she's doing tonight. And a possible new fee at the airport. Well, some passengers going through TSA security at the airport soon have to pay $18. What this proposal is all about.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. We do begin tonight with the breaking news. We have just learned the bill demanding the release of the full Jeffrey Epstein files has now been sent to the White House, and the president has now signed it. It comes 24 hours after that near unanimous passage in Congress. The question tonight, how long does the Justice Department now have to get the files out now that the president has signed the bill? And tonight here, our Pierre Thomas asking the Attorney General Pam Bondi, will all of the files be released? And how she answered today, making headlines tonight. Pierre Thomas leading us off.
Tonight, the bill demanding that the Justice Department release the Epstein files is now law. The president signing it some 24 hours after it was overwhelmingly approved by Congress, something he said he would do.
Sure, I would. Let the Senate look at it. Let anybody look at it. But don't talk about it too much because, honestly, I don't want to take it away from us.
The Justice Department now has 30 days to make the files public. Tonight, some Republican senators saying it shouldn't take that long.
This shouldn't be a new issue, so they should be ready to go. I hope they release them immediately.
But even though the issue has been brewing for weeks with pressure mounting, today Attorney General Pam Bondi would not explain how the process will play out and what, if anything, will be released.
We will continue to follow the law with maximum transparency while protecting victims.
I pressed the AG on whether that means the full files will come out.
When you say follow the law, Madam Attorney General, do you mean that you will provide all the files by 30 days?
We will follow the law. We will continue to follow the law, again, while protecting victims, but also providing maximum transparency.
Lawmakers on both sides watching these next steps very closely.
There must be no funny business from Donald Trump. This is not an invitation for Donald Trump to pick and choose his version of the truth.
President Trump didn't need Congress to get the Epstein files out. He could have just ordered Bondi to do it on his own. Instead, in recent days, he instructed the Attorney General to launch a new investigation into Epstein's ties to Democrats. Critics call that an effort to deflect from the president's own association with Epstein, noting Bondi herself had closed the books on the Epstein case earlier this year. At the time, she said the department had not uncovered evidence that could lead them to investigate anyone else. Today, I asked her what had changed.
What changed since then that you launched this investigation?
Information that has come for information. There's information new information, additional information.
The Attorney General would not say what the new information was.
So, David, we don't know if the new investigations will lead to a delay in the release of the Epstein files. Critics warn it could be an effort to stall. But those victims who we saw on Capitol Hill, who were there to witness Congress act, are demanding justice and total transparency. David?
Pierre Thomas leading us off here tonight. Pierre, thank you. Tonight is the Justice Department's case against James Comey in jeopardy. This evening, President Trump's hand-picked U.S. Attorney, Lindsay Halligan, who has never tried a criminal case before, and what she acknowledged to the judge today. It shocked many in the courtroom. James Comey and his family in court began whispering. And the question now, where does this case go from here? Here's our chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Katersky.
Tonight, the criminal case against former FBI Director James Comey is in serious doubt after a stunning admission in court by President Trump's hand-picked prosecutor. Lindsay Halligan has never tried a criminal case. Today, the judge put her on the spot, and she admitted she did not show the full grand jury the final version of the indictment before the four persons signed it. The disclosure shocked the courtroom into silence. Comey and his family began whispering, and his attorney called for the case to be thrown out. Trump installed Halligan after he forced out her predecessor, who determined there was not enough evidence to charge Comey. Sources told ABC News career prosecutors documented the conclusion in a memo. Today, when the judge asked about that memo, Halligan's partner said Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche ordered him not to discuss it.
I stand by what the testimony you summarized.
Comey has pleaded not guilty to charges he misled the Senate Judiciary Committee when he denied authorizing leaks to the press.
I have great confidence in the federal judicial system, and I'm innocent. So let's have a trial.
Comey was indicted days after President Trump publicly urged his attorney general to pursue charges against his political enemies, demanding justice must be served now. Comey's attorneys seizing on that post in court, arguing the case is vindictive. It is effectively an admission that this is a political prosecution. But today, prosecutors insisted Halligan brought the case on her own, telling the judge Ms. Halligan was not a puppet.
The judge is now weighing the actions of this prosecutor, David, who lacks criminal experience and who acknowledged she never showed the full grand jury the final copy of the indictment. There are more written arguments to come, but tonight, David, the case against James Comey seems to be hanging by a thread. David?
Our chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Katersky, tonight. Aaron, thank you. This evening, federal terrorism charges after a horrific attack on a commuter train in Chicago. Prosecutors say the suspect seen on surveillance allegedly setting a woman on fire. Tonight here, we do have news on her condition, and here's ABC's Rhiannon Ally.
Tonight, the man seen in these surveillance images allegedly setting a woman on fire on a Chicago commuter train is facing federal terrorism charges.
A 26-year-old woman was deliberately set on fire by Lawrence Reed in an unprovoked attack.
According to a criminal complaint and train surveillance, on the night of November 17th, 50-year-old Lawrence Reed, holding a small bottle, approaches a woman from behind, where he took the cap off the bottle and poured a liquid from the bottle all over the victim's head and body. Prosecutors say he lit the bottle and used it to light her on fire.
When the train stopped and the victim was able to muster the strength to stumble on the platform, two good Samaritans put out the flames.
Reed was captured about 12 hours later. Surveillance images from a gas station allegedly show Reed filling a bottle with gasoline before the attack.
David, Reed faces life if convicted. That rider still has critical injuries. Prosecutors are now asking for prayers. David?
Rhiannon Ally reporting tonight. Rhiannon, thank you. Now to the case of the 18-year-old girl found dead on board a Carnival cruise ship sailing from Miami to the Caribbean. Tonight, a source now says her body was discovered under a bed, wrapped in a blanket, and under life vests. And the court filing that suggests one of her step-siblings could be under scrutiny. Here's Victor Akendo.
Tonight, chilling new details in the mysterious death of the 18-year-old teen whose body was found aboard the Carnival Horizon cruise ship. A security source briefed on the investigation tells ABC News Central Florida cheerleader Anna Kepner was discovered under a bed, wrapped in a blanket, and covered by life vests. The cause of death not yet released. Kepner's stepmother now calling her child a suspect in the teen's death, according to a new filing in an unrelated family court dispute, saying it is true there is an open investigation regarding the death. Tonight, that security source identifying the child as a stepbrother. Kepner was on the Caribbean cruise with her father, stepmother, and two younger step-siblings earlier this month. The grisly discovery made before the boat redocked in Miami. Investigators now poring over the ship's security records, camera footage, and access cards. Tonight, the FBI declining to comment. David, investigators are waiting for the full toxicology and autopsy reports. Both could take weeks. Carnival Cruise Line says they are fully cooperating with the Miami office of the FBI in the investigation. David?
All right, Victor Akendo reporting from Miami tonight. Victor, thanks. We move on now to the U.S. military buildup off Venezuela. Tonight, here, newly released images of U.S. Marines conducting training missions, including live fire exercises. What is the president now planning? And ABC's Matt Rivers off Venezuela for us again tonight.
New images tonight showing U.S. Marines training here in Trinidad and Tobago. Multiple Osprey aircraft carrying out joint exercises with the local military as the U.S. ramps up pressure on Venezuela. For weeks, Marines from the same unit conducting live fire training operations across the Caribbean. Harrier fighter jets bombing targets. It comes as the New York Times reports President Trump signed off on additional covert CIA operations inside Venezuela that could lay the groundwork for a bigger military campaign, citing multiple people briefed on the matter. The president saying this week he is not ruling out putting U.S. troops on the ground in Venezuela.
I don't rule out anything. We just have to take care of Venezuela.
The Times also reporting Trump authorized a new round of back-channel negotiations with Venezuela's president Nicolás Maduro, who reportedly offered to step down after a few years, but the White House rejected that plan.
David, as far as the end game here, many experts say, sure, it can be about stopping drugs in this part of the world, but it's also very likely about more than that. It's very likely about forcing President Maduro from power one way or another. David?
Matt Rivers off Venezuela again tonight for us. Matt, thank you. Now to the war in Ukraine. Tonight, Russia has launched a brutal new attack on Ukraine, one of the deadliest this year. And it all comes as a new U.S. peace proposal has been presented to Ukraine. Some say this proposal heavily favors Russia. Our chief foreign correspondent, Ian Pannell, with the images coming in tonight. Ian.
Yeah, David, this was one of the deadliest attacks this year. This residential apartment block in the west of the country taking a direct hit, killing at least 25 people, including 3 children, dozens wounded. Incredibly, one man pulled out alive after hours trapped beneath the rubble. And amidst the bombardment, senior U.S. military officials now in Kyiv to try to restart peace talks. A U.S. plan presented to Ukraine includes reducing its military, Russia keeping all the land it's taken, and a demilitarized zone. But honestly, this largely reflects Russia's position, not Ukraine's, and it seems unlikely to go anyway towards fulfilling Donald Trump's promise of ending this war quickly. David?
All right, Ian Pannell with us here tonight as well. Ian, thanks. Tonight, former Olympic snowboarder Ryan Wedding facing new charges in the federal drug trafficking case against him. The Justice Department now accusing him of ordering the killing of a witness set to testify against him. The Canadian athlete allegedly running an organization distributing massive amounts of cocaine in Canada and in the U.S. He is currently on the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives list. Tonight to the economy, and we have learned in a rare move the federal government canceling the monthly jobs report for October. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says there is not enough data to calculate the unemployment rate because of the record-long 43-day government shutdown. The November report will be delayed. They say it will include partial data from October. Those reports, of course, critical in analyzing the U.S. economy and determining federal interest rates. When we come back tonight, the desperate search for a missing college professor last seen on an island in the Northeast. The urgent manhunt in Las Vegas, the brazen robbery. Police say the suspect armed with an AR-15 style rifle right in the middle of a busy casino. And a possible new fee at the airport. Will some passengers going through TSA security at the airport soon have to pay $18? What this proposal is all about. In the images tonight, the Miss Universe pageant contestant who fell on stage rushed off on a stretcher. More in a moment here. Tonight, the brazen robbery in Las Vegas. Authorities releasing surveillance images they say show a suspect pulling out an AR-15 style rifle and demanding money from a casino cashier at the Rampart Casino. The suspect leaving with an undisclosed amount of cash. Tonight, an urgent search for a college professor last seen on Peaks Island in southern Maine. Wiley Davey is a professor at Bentley College in Massachusetts. Authorities are now using search dogs, combing trails and wooded areas. Residents have been told to stay off the trails while this search is underway. Tonight, the TSA is now proposing a new rule to charge passengers who don't have a real ID or a passport. Those passengers would pay $18 and have their identity verified at special kiosks. The verification would be good for 10 days. It's not clear when the new rule would go into effect. Cleveland Browns quarterback Shedeur Sanders, Deion Sanders' son, now saying he's okay following the break-in at his home.
People have been texting me, "Are you okay?" Yes, I'm fine. I didn't get robbed. My house did.
Police say thieves stealing about $200,000 in items on Sunday while he was playing. The Browns saying Sanders will start this weekend. When we come back here tonight, the botulism outbreak growing involving infants. 31 cases now in 15 states. What you need to know about this. And the Miss Universe pageant contestant who fell on stage. She was rushed off on a stretcher. The images here in a moment. To the index of other news tonight, the botulism outbreak that may be linked to a popular baby formula that's been recalled is now growing tonight. At least 31 cases now in 15 states. All of the infants had consumed MyHeart Whole Nutrition baby formula. According to the FDA tonight, it has received reports that some of this recalled product is still on store shelves, so we have much more on our website for you if you're concerned. A Miss Universe pageant contestant was rushed to the hospital after falling off the stage. Miss Jamaica, Gabrielle Henry, missing a step right there during the evening gown competition in Thailand. Pageant organizers say she didn't break any bones and is expected to recover. Of course, that is good news tonight. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker was welcomed by Pope Leo, of course, a proud Chicago native, at the Vatican. Pritzker presenting the Pope with an invitation to visit his hometown and a 4-pack of beer from Chicago he labeled De Pope. Pope Leo telling the governor, "We will put that in the fridge." Tonight, NASA unveiling new images of an interstellar comet passing through our solar system. It's called 3I Atlas. It will pass within 170 million miles of Earth next month. It's only the third confirmed object from outside our solar system, and you can see it from Earth in the pre-dawn sky, but you will need a telescope. Fascinating tonight. When we come back here, America Strong, the children from New Jersey and what they did for a beloved rescue dog. You have to see this. Funny tonight here, the rescue dog who is deaf and the school children determined to find a way to communicate with him. Their teacher with a lesson they won't forget. America Strong. Tonight at Dr. William Menny's Elementary School in Vineland, New Jersey, west of Atlantic City, the remarkable lesson for the students from their teacher and his rescue dog. A few years back, their music teacher, Mr. Chris Hanna, adopting Cole from a shelter, a pit bull mix who was born deaf. At the time, Mr. Hanna thinking of his own nephew, Kevin, who is also deaf. Kevin and that dog playing together, bonding. Mr. Hanna began bringing Cole to school in hopes of teaching his young students about being different, the dog who was deaf, how to still connect with him, and the importance of acceptance. Cole on the school bus, at school assemblies, in the classroom, Mr. Hanna using sign language to communicate with his dog. And so for Cole's birthday, Mr. Hanna teaching a valuable new lesson.
I love you, Cole. It's your birthday.
Cole with his birthday crown, turning 9 now. The assembly in the school auditorium. The students about to sing happy birthday, but watch.
Happy birthday.
They are signing the song as well as singing it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Cole. Happy birthday to you.
And right here tonight,
hi, David.
Mr. Hanna and Cole. And just watch as Mr. Hanna signs to his dog to talk.
Talk to Daddy. Thank you. Come on. Thank you. Beautiful boy.
Tonight, Mr. Hanna and his message.
He really does an incredible job teaching our students about how to be different, be who they truly are, and that a disability is not an inability.
Happy birthday, Cole, and what a lesson. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
David Muir, the most watched newscast in America. And now, ABC's World News Tonight has won the Emmy for Best Live News Program for the 3rd year in a row.